We get them to our distributors get them into the shop. There's a disconnect. That could be a year-long process. Where with the cloud, they have access to that formula. They don't have it visualized, but they have access to that formula. They'll have to do a mix and do a spray. Or they go digital and see if the camera picks that variant that is not visualized yet. There's a lot of different ways to get to the color.
You can even take a camera shot of the color you've already done the first time and do a secondary. So if you have the test panel sprayed, clear coat and all, let it dry, and it's still off, take that camera and take a shot of that test panel. You'd be surprised what formula it's going to give you.
And when you do it, just open search, let the camera pick whatever it wants?
You can do that too.
Or do you put it in parameters?
Just do an open search on that one color. And it may bring you a closer color. And when he pulls it up on the computer, do a side-by-side comparison to see which direction it took it. It might have taken it closer to the vehicle, and it may be blendable.
You also have to look at the effect. What's in it for the effect? I mentioned Camping World. Doing a digital class, that 121V charcoal with the red Zerillic in it, they just did an open search. They pulled it up, they mixed it, they sprayed it. Terrible. So I took them back in, did the search again. I think it was the third formula down, even though the delta wasn't that good, it was only 2 stars. By knowing the pigments, it had the red Zerillic in it. So we would have the effect right. You might want to at least put in the manufacturer.
That's what, we've been doing that, and that helps a lot.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
We got a lot better.
And I think one thing the guys that, what you just said, the effect is so important, looking at the metallic, making sure if it does have Zerillic, because the camera's not gonna pick it out. That's where you guys have to look at it, it's really important.
Screen manufacturer.
And I think that's what we've done better, especially at, Bel Air, is doing that, and that's helped out their color matching, although they have the least experienced crew.
If the metallics are too fine, what would you add to make it more coarse in Wanda and in Lesmall?
Course of 10.
I don't know Wanda numbers.
What would be 11?
96 now?
04.
04.
1990.
1990.
If you have a fine metallic and you want a coarser look, what do you add to the 04 and 1990? Would be the toners.
When you really understand the special tinters, you master them. I fix color over the phone. Mater calls me, I've got a blue metallic that didn't have enough sparkle. He remixes it and puts in a coarser metallic. He got the sparkle, but a coarser metallic was going to do what to that blue? In the face and in the flip. It's going to be cleaner in the face, it's going to be darker in the flip. I asked him, was there 04 in the formula? Yeah. Go back to your first mix, add more 04. He's like, it's just a binder. No, there's a pigment in it. Start at 10%. See if it's going in the right direction. He called me back about 20 minutes later. Man, you're the man. No, I just know my pigments. And the special tinters.
So the answer is in the formula.
The black question, trying to make black blacker. 23 is your deep mixing, or your clean black to the yellow. I can't tell you how many vehicles out there have been repaired successfully with this straight 23. But they want it even blacker looking, maybe try adding some blue. I don't know why the OEM had to do that to black. Back in the day, I could fix any black vehicle with a Canon 99S. Then the OEM decided, well, we want to infuse a little red. We want to infuse a little yellow. We're going to put a little white in it. It makes it ugly.
They had leftovers, that's why. They got leftovers, and then we gotta use it.
and the colors the OEM are coming up with. I thought it was just about selling more paint, selling more cars. They're trying to develop these colors that do something in the face, something totally different in the flip, but they're clean, they're beautiful. Again, 34% of all cars purchased based on color, so that when you walk in and see that new unit, man, gotta have it. Has anybody seen the new Mazda, is it CX-5, MX-5? I can't keep them all straight. They have a color called Soul Red Crystal.
Yeah, I see it.
And you see it on the street in the sun, it will get your attention. It is a very translucent, it almost looks like stained glass with sun coming through it.
Thing called, D14. I think it's D14 is the paint code.
So if you're out driving around,
MX-5.
find a Mazda dealer, roll through and see if they have one. It'll get your attention. And talking with my manager, because he forwarded an email about the technology, the research Mazda put into developing this color to do that. Pretty involved. And I asked him, so where's the color lab on this? Are we gonna have another Ford RR 4-year wait before Dutch get around to fixing it? He said, nope, the lab has it figured out. Now they just gotta figure out how to get it in production and get it in the field. And I saw one on the street at lunch last week. It was pretty cool. It made my wife's Ford RR on her Flex just look dirty.
How do you all handle the code RR when the customer comes in?
Calling Mark.
No, there is a level formula that's fairly close, but there is the factory pack as well.
And RR,
I think it's standard comes up.
Okay.
I still got the old phone, back in the day they had 3-stage, I still had that one.
Yep.
That was prior.
We finally got the Dutch's attention. You gotta remember, half a globe away, the color palette in Europe is totally different than what we have here in the US. It's not in their backyard, they're not feeling the pain. It was not an issue to them like it was to us. But we finally got them to listen. They finally developed a great solution in a ready mix in Autobase Plus. There's a standard foundation and a lighter foundation. They both use the same tinted clear coat. The clear coat, it is a clear coat. There is a hardener, there is activator. And you spray it like clear. Depending on the vehicle, 2 to 4 coats of the mid coat, you'll be there. We finally got this solution, what, a year ago, April? In our technical team call, months later, we had one from product marketing management on the call with us. And she asked, okay, y'all raised holy hell about this color code. We finally got the solution. How come we're not selling it? Well, one thing, having it packaged in 6, that's a big hit to a distributor. How about we do twosies? So they repackaged. Now you can get them in 2s. So it's not as bad a hit. And then my manager stepped in and said, well, it's probably a testament to the dedication and abilities of our field team. They developed solutions that got the cars out the door. Because while the Dutch were dragging their feet, we still had cars we had to get painted. And I think she would, I kind of stepped in that one. We had a technical meeting in Detroit, our headquarters, in January. It coincided with what was formerly known as the Detroit Auto Show, now the North American International Auto Exposition. I don't remember. They took us to the show, but it was still work. They tasked us with seeing if we could identify trends in paint. Low gloss finishes are not going away. I actually saw 2 vehicles that wore both gloss and low gloss finish on them. The 3-stage candies like the RR, this new Mazda color. They're not going away. They're going to grow. Stripes are back. Gray. I have no idea. But there's a gray Jeep, looked like battleship gray. Ford had one on a F-150 they called stealth gray. Toyota booth, they had a couple of trucks. What the name of the color is cement. It looks like cement. And you didn't realize it was an effect color until you're about here. That was one of the other things, the trends I noticed was the effect. While there was a lot of traditional sized effects, there were others that were so fine that you didn't realize it was an effect until you're on it. Or it went to the other extremes. There were some that the bling was so big, it might have been a Skeeter Bass boat.
Like that Army color LS, is that the white metallic?
Oh, yeah,
GM on Cadillac finally has a new white pearl. Crystal white, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or,
Thank God 800J is gone.
that's right.
What ugly, dirty pearl.
Hey Brett,
Yes.
I don't know if you touched up on this, but I know we're wrapping up. And you guys have any questions? Brett, I'm sure
Feel
this
free.
email can be distributed. I'll just volunteer that. But is there anything to note with single stage matching colors?
Color theory is color theory.
Okay.
Doesn't matter the brand, doesn't matter the line. Theory is the theory. Where are y'all having to tint single stage? Well, I didn't use a single stage anymore.
we basically, one of our stores doesn't.
Durability and appearance comes from the clear.
UTEC.
Oh, UTEC?
Yeah. We have one store that does a lot of single stage because the east side of town does a lot of fleet work. But I think that team, what do you guys do when you're out to tint color? Most of the time it's camera?
Yeah, the whole camera.
They're just doing camera on one stage.
How's it working?
It's working well. I mean, those things have been replaying so many times anyway, so.
Yeah. The solid generator, I've really been impressed how well it works.
Yeah.
They don't want to spray base till then, they'd rather spray that.
When I do a UTEC training class, we go in, we seal it, we color it, and we come out and I'm like, oh yeah, it was simple back in the day. Down and dirty, got it done quick. How long is it gonna live?
So, going back to the color theory, you know, what's the basis? I mean, if you gotta describe that, so maybe we can help the team a little bit to.
Doing the solids, you only get 3 clues. What's my color group? What direction do I need to go? What does my purity need to do? It's what I see in the face, I see in the flip on a solid. No change. Good. What else?
Please, more questions on single stage? Come on, right?
Take advantage.
Oh, the solid generator. I have learned it does not work well on black.
On the camera?
Solid generate on black doesn't work well. Again, absorption, reflection, it's absorbing. Tell it to code, let it fix it area. Yes, Kelly?
What are some indications that your painter is using the wrong nozzle size on his spray gun?
TDS. It's all in the tech data sheets. Base coat should be around a 1.3 to a 1.4 to get it done. Clear coats, 1.3, depending on the clear, maybe up to a 1.5. Depends with the gun too.
I mean, besides asking him directly, like what nozzle size you're using, what will the paint do if he's using the wrong nozzle size?
Early with Auto Base Plus, I had painters that had, say, a SATA 2000, and they have a 1.3 fluid tip, which was working great for them with Auto Base. But now they're having color issues. They're having to lower the pressure so much to bring the color in that it was getting lumpy, it was getting grainy on the base coat. Bumping from a 1.3 to a 1.5, the color's there and it's laying down smoother now. You've also got to be mindful that we all spray differently, and they need the nozzle that's within recommendations that fits their spray speed, their tempo of application. Like a 1.5 on clear coat, I'm too old, I can't move that fast anymore.
So you're basically saying it depends on how hard you wanna work with
The
it?
painter, the gun, what size? Look at it in the TDS. I know there's a lot, y'all have multiple lines. I bow to you. All I have to worry about is seconds and resinol. Little impact. Just.
I would like to mention one more point in regards to Sickens and Lesno. I know that he mentioned Camping World. If y'all are making color for RVs or campers or things like that, maybe y'all can direct it to this store since they have Sickens, because there is an RV binder
Yes.
that Camping World does use. They don't use the Q65, it's an RV binder 10. And so when you set the computer to look up Sickens on the camera, it'll pop up that binder because those colors are already in the system. So just a thought, in case y'all do come across campers, RVs, and things like that.